R.I. Presents.
Sea People Mountain People Chapter 2 Encounter with Mythology. Previous overview. Touka was immersed in excitement when she learned about the existence of her ancestors, but when the man she met the other day came to Kotan, she began to feel a sense of anxiety. That man said he was looking for people, but I feel like he came here for a different purpose. I'm curious about the words he said, someone here who knows the weather. Among the myths I know, the Ainu do not appear. The most documented history is the history of the winners, so it is not surprising that it has been compiled. This may be an opportunity to know the truth. But I'm interested, but I don't think it's good for me to be involved and change history, so I have to be careful. That day, in the evening, there was a happy event. Tokapchup's mom is back. I finally get to see her mom. As we waited at the entrance of Kotan, her mother came back with a smile. Her mother's face looks a bit like when my grandmother was younger. In the evening, we all got together for a dinner party, but then I realized something. The old lady who was always with them was their grandmother. In the absence of Dad. Her father is still in a distant Kotan, and it will be a while before he returns. And the most surprising scene was the popularity of her mother. One after another, people came to her mother, so it was much later that they were able to talk to each other. In the end, even if we had time for the family, we were worried about the fatigue of our mother, so we talked briefly and slept in each room. Her sister and grandmother slept in the same room, and Tokapchup and her mother slept in the same room. When her mom lay down, Tokapchup also lay down to hug her mom. Mom patted her head, seemingly waiting for her to sleep, and Tokapchup closed her eyes and fell asleep. The next day, after finishing mom morning routine, her mother came to wake Tokapchup up and we went at the giant tree to pray with her sister. There I was able to hear an interesting story from her mother. It seems that a group of people who came from Edo came to Kotan, far away. The Wajin had come here often before, but they would leave as soon as they exchanged what they wanted, so it seems that they have never had any problems. But this time there were a lot of people who came, and they were looking for a place to live. In order for a large number of people to live, they have to think not only about the place, but also about water and food. these problems are easy to solve. So, her father stayed in the Kotan to discuss it. So while her father was gone, the mother told her two daughters, "Don't go too far from Kotan because I'm worried." Her sister, who was next to her, was also listening to her mother seriously, but her curiously expression was so cute that I wanted to hug her. But I didn't know that at the time. The changes that are happening inside Kunasiapu and the consequences that follow. Around noon that day, her sister had a friend she wanted to introduce to her, so she invited her to go to the sea with her, and we headed to the sea together. Her sister headed to a rocky area next to the coast, and when she reached the tip of it, she blew her finger whistle. Then, after her sister blew her finger a few times, it was Dolphin who appeared. I was surprised that Dolphin was her friend, but what surprised me even more was that her sister introduced her friend's name as Tanu Kamwi. I've never seen a dolphin up close, so I don't know its size, but the dolphin had a beautiful gradation of pale blue and white, and the black of its eyes was so attractive that it almost sucked me in. Kamwi means God, right? She said that each of them has a god, but is that true? Isn't it possible that they call the most beautiful thing that? This was the thought in my head, but the sight of Kunasiapu sitting on a rocky ground and a dolphin emerging from the surface of the sea was so wonderful that I couldn't help but admire it. Today's story ends. The continuation of the story will be updated tomorrow. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel.